The hum of terminal chatter vibrated across Gate 4B as travelers bustled past, unaware they were about to witness the spark that would collapse an empire. Amid rolling luggage and overhead boarding calls, Elijah Warner stood silently at the gate, an island of composure in a sea of movement. Tall, poised, and dressed with effortless precision in a fitted black hoodie, sleek dark joggers, and immaculate designer sneakers, he exuded the quiet kind of presence that drew double takes from those who noticed, but most didn't. And that was just how Elijah liked it. He didn't command attention with flash. He didn't have to. The CEO of Novacore Systems, a company silently running half the nation's cloud infrastructure, had just wrapped a week of strategy meetings in LA, and all he wanted now was a smooth first-class seat back to New York. A final boarding call rang out above, and he stepped forward, phone in hand, digital boarding pass glowing. The young gate agent smiled as he scanned Elijah's ticket. "You're all set, sir. Have a great flight." But before Elijah could even reach the jet bridge, a voice rang out like a slap across the terminal. "Hold on." Elijah turned. A man in his 30s, pale, clean-shaven, wearing the badge of a shift supervisor, approached with a clipboard in hand and suspicion in his eyes. His name tag read Tom Garrison. His eyes scanned Elijah's attire once, twice, and his lips curled slightly. "We have a formal dress policy for first class," Tom announced, loudly enough to be heard by everyone nearby. "We can't board you dressed like that." The words weren't casual. They were sharp, loaded, designed to draw attention. Elijah's expression didn't change. He'd heard this before. He breathed and slowly measured. "Your website doesn't mention a dress code," he said calmly. "Neither does the ticket." Tom tapped the clipboard. "Guest appearance guidelines. Section 8. We reserve the right to deny boarding based on attire." Elijah glanced at the paper. "This mentions hygiene and offensive graphics, not hoodies or sneakers." "I'm not debating with you," Tom said, louder now, as if trying to reclaim control. "You'll need to rebook on the next flight. If you want to change." The air changed. Conversations hushed. Phones tilted. Someone whispered, "Is he serious?" Another person lifted their phone discreetly, recording. Elijah nodded once. "No anger, no begging, no argument, just precision." He stepped aside, took out his phone, and tapped a single contact. "It's time," he said. Then he ended the call. On the 58th floor of Novacore's Manhattan headquarters, the moment that call came through, the building's energy shifted. Monitors flickered to life. Executives straightened. Staff moved faster. Inside the glass-walled war room, Malcolm Briggs, Elijah's longtime COO, stood and turned to the others. "He made the call," he said. 3 department heads entered the room without speaking. The mood was clear. They prepared for this. "Activate Protocol Atlas," Malcolm said, already at the terminal. "Skylift Airlines just made the worst mistake of their existence." "They profiled him?" asked Devin Fields, head of compliance. Loudly, publicly. "They don't know who he is." Back at the gate, Tom Garrison leaned toward his junior agent. "You can't let people wear streetwear in first class," he muttered. "It lowers the standard." What Tom didn't know was that he'd been live-streamed by a travel vlogger nearby. Within 30 minutes, the clip had gone viral. By 8 p.m., it had been reshared 15,000 times. At Novacore HQ, the strategy team was already rolling. The press release was drafted. The distribution list was ready. A single email fired off to every major business news outlet. Novacore withdraws investment in Skylift Airlines following discriminatory incident involving CEO Elijah Warner. But that was only the beginning. Skylift Airlines' PR team barely had time to react. The CFO's screen lit up with an alert. Novacore withdraws $900 million investment. Effective immediately. Inside Skylift's Chicago headquarters, panic spread. Peter Langdon, the airline CEO, stared at his phone. 10 missed calls. 3 from the Department of Transportation. 2 from shareholders. 1 from the White House liaison. "What happened?" he barked. A junior PR rep spoke carefully. "Our supervisor at LAX denied boarding to a first-class passenger, said it was due to attire." Peter's brow furrowed. That's bad, but it's fixable. He was the CEO of Novacor. Silence. The room stopped breathing. Back in the VIP lounge, Elijah sat sipping tea, watching his team orchestrate the takedown. His hoodie still unzipped, revealing a barely visible Novacor logo on his chest. His assistant, Nadia, approached. The videos trending everywhere. We're top 5 across 3 continents. Include Tom Garrison's photo in the statement, Elijah said. Nadia hesitated. Are we naming him? We're illuminating him. By midday, Skylift's IT systems began crashing. Ticket kiosks froze. Baggage systems glitched. Payment systems rejected cards. Novacor's engineers weren't hackers. They were architects. And now, they were carefully dismantling their own infrastructure. Without Novacor, Skylift had no functioning tech backbone, no cybersecurity, no analytics, no flight prediction modules. A senior Skylift technician whispered what no one wanted to say out loud. We've been locked out from the inside. Skylift's boardroom erupted in chaos. We can't operate like this. Legal, fix this. They've revoked our entire system's license. Meanwhile, Elijah walked calmly through Novacor's new hangar facility, now branded with the name of his next venture. Onyx Air. At a press event streamed worldwide, Elijah stepped onto a minimalist stage, dressed in a charcoal suit and an open white collar. No dress code. No hidden policies, he said. At Onyx Air, first class isn't a look. It's a standard of respect. Reporters flooded in. Industry leaders watched. Competing airlines whispered. Skylift stock plummeted 26% in 5 days. Their CEO resigned under pressure. Tom Garrison was terminated. PR fallout couldn't be contained. And it wasn't just about Elijah anymore. A whistleblower at Skylift leaked hundreds of ignored racial profiling complaints. Civil rights groups filed suits. Passengers shared their stories under the hashtag SkyShame. Onyx Air's first test flight departed Holston International that Friday. There was no first class. Every passenger was treated equally. Elijah watched from a control tower above the terminal, his hand pressed gently against the glass as the plane rolled onto the runway. This isn't revenge, he murmured. This is the standard. By the following week, Onyx Air was the top trending brand in global aviation. Flight crews from other airlines submitted resumes in droves. Novacor doubled its Q2 valuation. And at Skylift? Silence. Shutdowns. Layoffs. Congressional investigations. Elijah declined all media interviews. I'm not the story, he told his staff. The system is. A journalist once asked him, what made you launch an airline? His reply was simple. I got tired of waiting for people in power to do the right thing, so I became the power. And with that, he walked away quietly. Like always.